Hi, I'm Dr. Danny Lockwood, physician at Terrain Wellness, and today we're going to talk about Candida overgrowth in your gut. So first, let's talk about what is Candida. Here's my amazing drawing of Candida albicans, which is a very common form of Candida that is found in an overgrowth quality in the body. So Candida is actually a yeast, which is in the fungus family, and it thrives when there's bacterial imbalances in the body. So if you've got good bacteria on your skin, in your gut, in your urinary tract, things will be in balance. And if not, or if it's been destroyed because of things we're going to talk about in a second, we will start to have an imbalance in those. And that's when this guy comes in and overgrows. So we call him an opportunistic infection. All right, so what are some signs that you have Candida overgrowth? Well, rashes, they're usually pretty irritating. Headaches, chronic headaches, gut issues, sinus infections, urinary tract infections or yeast infections, joint pain. So those are some things that might come up. There's a bunch of other signs, but those are probably the most common ones. So when we have an overgrowth situation, what causes that? One of the first things I think of is antibiotics. Remember that a lot of the meats, the conventional meats that we eat, contain a lot of antibiotics. Another thing to think about is birth control, especially the pill, really messes with the gut bacteria. Other medications will do it too. There's a whole slew and a list, but the one that comes to mind is birth control. Alcohol is very fermented, especially your beers and your wines, and so it leads to an excess of yeast overgrowth, and plus it really messes with the blood sugar, which goes to the next point, high carbohydrate and sugar, especially those white flours and things like that. And this runs really high, these Candida infections, in people who have diabetes. We also want to look at high stress levels. Again, when you're under a lot of stress, your gut's not working correctly, you maybe start eating a little bit more of these and drinking a little bit more of these, and that can definitely lead to an overgrowth of Candida. So what do we want to do? So for an actual diet, the basic principles of it, and obviously we can have more details about this in another video, but sugar of all kinds. Yes, that includes your artificial sweeteners as well, because they really destroy that gut bacteria. It includes maple syrup. It includes honey, especially when you're doing this. And usually with a Candida, like a strict Candida diet, it's about 14 days, sometimes up to 3 weeks that you want to be doing this. Alcohol, especially beer and wine, those are very highly fermented. Gluten and simple carbohydrates, again, white pastas, breads, crackers, even those gluten-free bagels are really high in sugar and high in carbohydrates. So when we're dealing with Candida, that's a whole other story. Cheeses contain mold. Mold is in the yeast and fungi family, so we want to avoid things that help us grow more of those things. And also fermented foods, which are usually pretty good for most people in the gut, but when we have a Candida overgrowth situation, we want to highly limit fermented foods and pickled foods and things like that. And we want to be really specific about the type of probiotics that we're putting in the system. So what can we do? So what we want to eat is things like fish and eggs. Garlic is really good at killing off Candida. Some people can't handle it in their gut, so check with your doc or your nutritionist with that. Lemon is really fantastic. Ginger, teas are great. Bone broths, green vegetables. All of these are really simple, easy to digest foods and very, very low in sugar, so it helps with that fermentation process. Also, some women will actually get Candida in the breasts, they'll get it in the underwear, things like that. Always wash with hot water and add just a simple white vinegar or an apple cider vinegar to your clothes washing. And I like the essential oils. There's 3 of them that I love that are very antifungal. Grapefruit, which contains caprylic acid, which is super good at killing off fungus, germs, viruses, all kinds of things. Lemon is another one. And tea tree oil, and sometimes I'll mix each one of those. So I'll put, maybe 4 or 5 drops of each one of those in a large load of laundry. I fill the water up first so we don't stain the clothes, put a couple drops of those in and get it going. So those are my tips for Candida, diet, and your gut. I hope this was helpful. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon.